Because I have many questions to you.
Sure. I know you do.
I always have many questions. You told me you are not technically digital nomad, right?
Yep.
Digital nomad and work remotely is different? What's the difference?
I think digital nomads, like, they really move around a lot, so they don't really have a fixed place itself.
How long? I mean, how is limited? Living one place, like 2 months, 3 months, have to move. What's the digital nomad definition?
There's no rule. Okay, it's just more. If they want to pack up and leave, they can do it in a month.
Months?
A month or two, whatever. It's easy for them to just up and go. That's not my case. I could technically live anywhere. I could live in Singapore. I could live whatever. I'm just choosing to live in Korea. But at the same time, I'm kind of like stuck in Korea because of my rent and my lease. I have to pay. That's like a year contract, right? So there's that. I think that's why I don't feel exactly like a digital nomad, but I could technically.
You can do, right?
I could.
After rent expired, right?
Yeah. In
Anyway,
8 months.
8 months left.
Maybe, yeah.
Your freedom.
Exactly.
But work remotely is not that common in Korea still.
Unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately, super unfortunately.
Yes.
But work remotely, and also you had experience work in the company, right? You just always
I've
work.
always worked remotely. Actually.
How?
Always. I don't know how. It's just like just how it is.
Wow, envy you. Anyway, work remotely. What's the you feel the difficulties work remotely?
No.
You really enjoyed it.
I really enjoy it.
You don't.
No, I don't need to talk to
people. A computer monitor, so that's why you don't need communication, right? In your life.
Exactly. I'm very happy being alone. No, it's like, so I do meet people when I need to, and I think like work relationships are a bit different. I do make friends that way as well, but like, I don't know. It's not necessary for me. Especially, I find that actually in an office environment, I get distracted more. People distract me. People come talk to me. It's like, it's nice and all, but and that's why actually even here I work at night a lot because I don't get bothered by anyone. Yeah.
You just super intensively work and have free time, right?
Exactly. So top of like working remotely, I really enjoy having flexibility. So like during the day, I will still work a bit, like especially handle people. You know, handle people. So like people come and talk to me, asking me stuff. Yes, so but then the brunt of the work, when I really have to focus on something, I do it like when I don't get bothered. So night, sometime early morning. Yeah, depends. But yeah.
But most remote worker tell like their difficulties in work. They feel lonely or they need communication. They want to have more network something. So it's totally different answer, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's.
But I really understand your.
It's up to the person. It's going to be up to the person. Some people will feel that way. I don't. And especially like in my case, I do get to talk with many people very often. So. And also have to attend events. So that makes up, I think, for the loneliness and the need for relationships in a way and talking to people.
But remotely work at home, right? In your home. But you can separate the work and...
No problem.
How?
I mean, it's just like... So, I do it very badly. And I don't feel the need to separate stuff.
Why?
Like, oh, this is work, this is like, for me it's like, as long as I have the flexibility to do whatever I want, whenever I want, which currently, fortunately, I do, I'm happy. Just like, I don't mind working more, I don't mind, as long as stuff gets done, I don't mind working more, and as long as I'm happy, for me this is a type of work-life balance as well.
Wow. you're really lucky person, right?
I think so. Maybe.
How could you know? How could you develop your self-esteem? Because I always shaking the self-esteem. I don't know who I am.
Don't do social media.
What do you mean?
That's one thing, right? So you compare yourself to other people constantly. And so if you don't do that, that's already a big help. You just look at yourself in the end.
You don't.
I don't do social media.
And also you don't feel behind in compared to your peers, in compared to your friends,
I
in
mean,
compared to your
we do
acquaintance.
different things, I guess. But yeah, I mean, at some point I was, especially like my school, like people were always like, they have like two ways. Either they go top consulting or investment banking. And I didn't do that. So for a long time I was there feeling like maybe I was not doing the right thing. Maybe I still feel like it sometimes. It depends. You know, so I think it's like it's healthy to have a self-doubt.
Self-doubt.
Yeah, it's if you have a healthy amount of it, it's useful to always question maybe your direction in a way. Maybe if you do it too much, that's might be a problem as well. But
too much is a problem. Might be a problem.
Because then I think if you always ask yourself, okay, am I going the right direction? Am I doing things right? What could I do better? Then it actually helps going forward in some extent. But that's easier said than done.
So then when you feel, of course, but that's very rare case for you. But when you really feel behind or really feel depressed, of course you sometimes feel like that because you're human, not computer, right?
Sure.
So then what do you do to refresh or overcome?
Yeah, that's it. So it's like refresh. It's like you recenter yourself in a way. Recenter.
Recenter.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, I disconnect myself from stuff, generally speaking, and I talk less with people. So I think it's not a very healthy behavior, but like it's healthy in the way of like you actually focus on
me.
You get to focus on yourself. For a while, and then the goal is after to go out of your shell a bit. But for me, so in that case, like I would like to take the time to think a lot. Like going on walk, meditating, whatever. That helps a lot. But yeah, it's a process. It takes a while. It's just like, yeah. And then the thing also is always to keep in mind is that you will always see the success of people, but not necessarily the work or like the problems that they have. And people will also only show you their successes, always like the glory and never like what happened in the back and stuff. Because like, so I'm again very familiar with like investment banking and consulting. A bunch of people in my family work in those fields as well. And I know what's it's like behind the scenes. It's very tough. It's very difficult. It's not that glamorous. So then it makes you like change maybe your perspective a bit. I mean, that's really specific to my case, but is that something I want for myself? Actually, no.
Often compare to my success friend and acquaintance, very high position, their success, like the glory, like that. So I feel like I feel behind, and how I don't have any solution to jump up like that. Sometimes I feel like very stuck feeling. So that's why I feel like in
I mean, look, you are envious of the final.
Envious?
No, and on the final position itself, but like, then you think about it. Okay, are you willing to put as much work or go through the same kind of process that they did?
I cannot.
Yeah, it's like, okay, everybody wants to have like the high position in a law firm or a bank or in whatever, and then you get the money, the prestige or whatever. But then are you willing to put the work? Or I mean, put the work and also go through like the grinder, really, because it's sometimes like that. Maybe that's not what you want. Yeah.
Maybe
Because it does take a toll. It does take a toll. It's like for a few years or sometimes longer, you have to sacrifice stuff. You sacrifice your family, your friends,
health.
some health, of course, yes, for just the purpose of getting a nice, cushy job.
Makes sense. I just envy their status, not their efforts, not their sacrifice.
Sacrifice. But okay, the thing is, like, it's fine to want that as well. Like, if that's something you want to have, like a high position, so that's totally okay for me. But then that's also like how I kind of rationalize my decisions. Like, am I willing to go through the grinder to do that? Because like, okay, of course I would love to have this position, but then am I willing to sacrifice 10 years where I don't get to see my family all that much because I live abroad? It's complicated to go back. I don't get to enjoy my free time, my youth, whatever. I don't have energy to do a whole bunch of things. Yeah.
So then, I feel like you know well about yourself, right?
Some stuff. Yeah.
Who are you, so then? I mean, according to your definition, nowadays, what's your who is Guillaume? You think? Like a one sentence?
Flexibility, let's say.
Oh,
Yeah, that's
flexibility.
like for me, like flexibility is like paramount. That's so more than money, more than anything. It's like, because money cannot buy like having the power to just. I mean, yes, you can buy it if you have a lot of it, but like at our age, if you work and you have a nice salary and stuff, usually you don't get to. Okay, let me go back to my family for 3 months and then work sometimes and then enjoy my time there, and then come back to Korea and then maybe move to some other place very easily. Work on the weekend if I want to, and nobody's gonna tell me anything. And then during the week, I just enjoy my week. Yeah.
So you're happy.
I'm very happy with what I do.
Wow.
But the way I've like structured my life makes me very happy. Yeah.
You like you feel happy about your job, your life, right?
Yeah.
Oh, but I'm not happy.
Sorry for you.
Unfortunately. So I feel like you before you choose that field, startup or strategic consultant, like remotely work. Before then, you knew about yourself already. Knew well. So that's why you choose that remote work is.
No, that just happened this way.
Just happened?
Yeah, it's like, I think it's like even at the time, I didn't know exactly. I thought I did, but then, it's a process, and you always get to know yourself more and more as time goes by, right? What you like, what you don't like. Yeah.
But why I don't know about myself?
You think you don't, maybe. It's more like you need more introspection.
Introspection. But I cannot stand that time.
You need to talk with people.
Because I love to communicate anyway.